further on up the road, you'll find out I wasn't lying. Further on up the road, someone's gonna hurt you like you hurt me. Further on up the road, someone's gonna hurt you like you hurt me. Further on up the road, darling, just you wait and see. Weekend's here. I'm up at dawn, gotta make it clear. The hunt is on, I'm feeling that fire. Got FOMO bad and I'm down to the wire. Rolling out the morning light, chasing that beast that's out of sight. Got my spot all picked out right, gonna score that bottle tonight. Oh, but the whiskey tuber's got that first, left me standing feeling cursed. No JD, no Wild Turkey's best. No Russell's 15 left on the shelf. Guess I'll see if I like the rest. Charlie, Jeff, and a special guest, sipping up all the liquid joy. Cast 529, got the last sweet sip. Guess I need to learn to double click and hit subscribe quick. I walk in the store, see a big guy.
Reach out. That could be one of our things we do. You know, we're talking about doing these commercials or these ads or these videos for these different products. I can reach out to a manufacturer that makes a bidet, get one, and you do the video, and sit there and go, oh. I'm riding the bike and going.
With the glitter in my hand and burn.
No doubt that.
All right,
that
no,
sticker
hold on, Torp. It does not say who is in my ass. Oh my God, it does. If you separate it, that says who's in my ass.
in my ass.
Oh shit.
Who in my ass?
My systems. I'm starting to become immune to fresh. This doesn't even bother me anymore.
That's fresh.
Oh. I'm like, that smells pretty good.
If you can't beat 'em, join 'em too. Sub to Bourbon and Ballz and find something new. So I'll raise my glass to the whiskey crew. Those tubers know just what to do.
Right.
Are we back?
I don't know.
Hello?
We had no video. I don't know. I have no idea. That was very weird. I swear, it just 20 seconds before. Hold on. Can anybody hear us?
Hello. You are here. Hello. Shauna, can you hear us?
That was weird.
No audio. Check your audio. Did you check
No audio.
the audio settings?
Oh crap! God bless, man. I this. Hold on. Audio. Yeah. Test. And we should be on. Audio is just fine.
Oh. Thanks.
Man, will you quit? I swear, I love you people, but some of you.
Yeah, we're doing something a little bit different tonight.
Well, first of all, we didn't have no video.
Yeah, the audio.
We were
video just
20 seconds right before we go on air, and all of a sudden my screen goes blank. I'm not even kidding you. So anyway.
Yeah, it was a little nuts.
So go ahead, Jeffro.
All right, so let's see here. I think what happened. I think we might have lost
Power.
Yeah,
Well,
we're back on now. Okay. Anyway, so I guess we can go and make the announcement now. I guess.
Well, hold on here. Let me get my bearings straight.
All right. We're trying a little something different tonight. We're not using these guys tonight. We're using these guys.
But I'm still going to fondle this.
You still got
I'm going to act like this still works, even though this is turned off. But I'm going to caress it like, you know.
Yeah, as only Charlie can do.
Okay, so anyhow.
Anyway, so the reason for that is the special announcement that we got is this Saturday, we are going to be heading down to Louisville.
Do you say Louisville or Louisville?
Louisville.
Oh, you know what? David could tell us.
It's Louisville.
Is it Louisville?
Louisville.
Okay.
We've been invited to come down.
You know what's funny? When I call, I don't know why I put my hand over here. It should be over here.
We've been invited to come down and chat with Mark Carter down at Joe's Older Than Dirt down in Louisville. Steve Higdon from the Big Bourbon Club reached out to me and invited us down. And what we're going to do is interview Mark. We're going to.
You know what we're missing? You know why this feels weird right now?
Why?
We didn't say hello to everybody.
No, we haven't, have we?
That's why we're a little off.
All right, we'll say hello in a second. Let me get this out, and then we'll do that.
We're just out of sync right
now. We're
out
of sync. So, so that's what's going on Saturday. We're going to interview Mark at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going to go live. Yeah, we're going live at 1 o'clock on Saturday. From 1 to 2, we're going to be interviewing Mark, Steve Higdon, Mark's business partner, and then a couple other guys from the Big Bourbon Club. It is the Big Bourbon Club's 5-year anniversary, so it's kind of a dual celebration for them. And then at 2 o'clock sharp, there's going to be a switch. Steve Higdon and Mark Carter are going to be up on stage. We're still going to continue to stream it, and we're going to have a tasting with Mark. And they're going to interview, they're going to talk, they're going to chat, they're going to go through all the tasting stuff. And that's from 2 to 3:30 on Saturday. So if you're available in that round, tune in. It's going to be simulcast through all the Big Bourbon Club Facebook group pages, YouTube, LinkedIn, everywhere.
There's going to be simulcast in their app?
Yes, in the app too.
Nice.
So going to be a big deal.
You know what you remind me of?
What?
When you said it's going to be a big deal.
What?
From Anchorman. You know when he's at the pool and he goes up to Veronica Corningstone or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you know what? You know, something about I'm a big deal. And he's got his hairy chest out there.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I remember. So that's a special announcement. I want to get that out there before we
Jeff
get
could
going.
not wait, everybody.
I couldn't wait. This
He
will be a
was
good
so
deal.
excited. He's like, you know what? I'm not going to do hello in the chat. I'm going to just blurt it right out.
So there it is.
All right. Well, let's go to the chat real quick.
All right.
So cheers, Shauna. Appreciate you coming on. Silly Yorkie. Cheers. I got another announcement. You remind me of something, Tracy. So just hold on tight. Torp, you may be interested in this announcement too. Cheers to you. Thanks for coming on. John Shank. Yes, Mr. Yorktown. Cheers to you. Thanks for coming on. Rick Moreland, cheers, and thanks for the updated music tonight provided by Rick Moreland.
Yep.
So we decided to update it, and then we do appreciate you doing that. Dave Volgestang, cheers as always. Thanks for coming on. We have Keith Miller. Yes, cheers to you, buddy. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. Let's see. Tom Black, cheers. Thanks for coming on, as always. Tammy Adams.
You say Tommy's here.
Yeah. Frontiers Adventure. Hey, yay. They're here too. If you guys haven't know much about them, I think they're on 8 o'clock on Saturday evenings, I believe. And they seem like genuine people. Hold on, recording. What am I recording? Anyways, I have no idea. So anyways, so yeah, go out and check them out. And Frontiersmen, if you want to, feel free to put your link in the chat. Always, anybody else who has a show, I know Brian and Shauna out there too. Always feel free to put that out in chat, put out Discord, whatever you want to do. Just put it all out in chat. So yes, let's see here. Hashtag Copper is the free giveaway tonight, by the way. I know, David. We don't do this. That was not our fault. Neither one of us was that our fault. The video just went out.
Yeah. It's the second box is full.
Yeah, my bad. Okay, so CA Scotty, hope you enjoyed tonight's. And this was the recommendation from CA Scotty for the guest we have tonight from Copperworks.
Mm-hmm.
So CA Scotty, cheers to you. Thanks for coming on. Let's see here. Tom Black, I said hi to him.
Crappie Cat.
Yes, and Husky Dog.
Yeah.
Cheers to both of you all. Angel Price, cheers to you. That's a newer one.
It's a new name, yeah. Welcome.
Yeah, so everybody give Angel a Bourbon and Ballz hello if you would. I would appreciate it. Alan Adams is here. Yes, Alan Adams is here. Yes, cheers. Thanks for coming on. And we're getting there.
Silly Yorkie, Keith Miller.
Oh, Patrick Littledew. Yes,
hey,
cheers.
Patrick.
Thanks for coming on over. Appreciate it.
Whiskey
also,
Bill.
along with Whiskey Bill. And Stan the Man.
Yep.
Thanks for coming. Appreciate you coming along for whatever it is that we have going on this evening. And yes, real quick, I have to highlight this, guys. This only took what?
Almost a year.
No, it did not.
Damn near.
It did not.
Damn near.
You're so full of crap.
Damn near.
How did it? Anyways, it took a few months. we got a new barrel head up. Why are you laughing? It's a few months.
More than a few months.
All right. Well, we've had this done for a little while. So, and this, by the way, this was done by Brian over at Cast 529.
Mm-hmm.
This thing was a dirty, rough.
Yeah, Buffalo Trace.
It's a Buffalo Trace barrel head. I got it down at the gift shop. It was like $50.
And I know when we got it?
When
we went down for the Kentucky Bourbon Festival.
So it wasn't a year. It's September.
Well, it'll be in September.
So I've had it. No, well, then Brian had it for like a month or so.
It's been almost a year.
You're so full of it. So, anyways, it looks very nice on our wall.
It does.
Yeah, spelled right and everything.
And it's an heirloom already because we've changed.
Yeah, we changed our logo since then too. So we'll probably get sued for that. Probably. We'll probably look at cease and desist letter. Take that shit down.
Yeah.
So all right. So anyways, we continue. So yeah. So let's see. Oh, you know what I forgot?
What'd you forget?
The trophy. I need to put that trophy on here before Keith does something. I don't know if he's on yet.
He's on already. I've seen him.
Is he?
Where's your trophy?
It's over here. It's over there.
Over there. Where here?
I gotta go get it. I'll get it.
All right.
Michael Bortner, cheers. Thanks for coming on. And let's see here. Show me the proof.
Hey.
Cheers for coming on. Thank you as always. Cannonball. You ain't kidding. God bless. Husky Dog, thanks for the you guys. I'll go through super chats here in a little bit. But I appreciate you guys super chat. There's a couple of ways to do super chat ish.
Yes.
By the way,
Mhm.
we pinned a link tree. You're at no obligation to do so, but if you do, let us know. But we'll check it before we do the super chats. There's a Venmo and a PayPal.
Right.
That goes directly to
Our Bourbon and Ballz account.
yeah. So if you guys are able to, that's great. Otherwise, super chat that will work as well. We appreciate you guys supporting the show however you guys might. So that being said, let's see.
Mr. Richie J.
Oh yes, Mr. Richie J. Thanks. Thanks for coming on. And I think we almost got everybody.
Whiskeyville, yep, Frontier,
Angel.
Angel.
Yes.
Yep, there's Keith.
Uh-oh. Cheers, Keith.
You better get it.
I'll get your trophy in a minute. I'm sorry. I meant to get that. I thought I had everything great. All right. I think we... Man, will you quit, Keith, in your $1.99? Come on. Open agave. Cheers to you. Good Lord. Thank you, Rick Moreland, for your super chat. I appreciate it. Husky Dog, thank you very much. Stan Savick. Yes, today we're going to have another foodie race. We're sticking with that. I don't think we're going to get off of that.
Yeah.
So we'll see who's going to be the winner tonight. Patrick Littledew, thanks for the super chat. Dave, thanks for 2 super chats. Appreciate it. Crappy Cat, thank you very much. Shauna, thank you very much.
Yeah,
and Keith, thank you very much. And I'm not even going to highlight your $1.99.
you just did.
I know. I'm just kidding.
One of the pours in that super chat is for the old Carter.
Yes, it is.
Thing for tomorrow, for Saturday.
One more announcement before we get Jeff on real quick. We had our poker night for the first time last Monday. It only took us in a Bourbon and Ballz fashion way. It took us 30 minutes to get things to go.
Well, 30 minutes after everybody joined, but it took us how many hours beforehand?
Oh yeah, but we had 30 minutes of complications.
Yes, we did.
But anyways, it went off with that. We went off with a pretty good hits. I had a lot of fun. I think everybody else did too. We had 2 tables going on.
Mm-hmm.
If you know anything about poker, the very first hand on our table, you weren't at our table. You're at a different
No, it was
table.
a different table.
3 people went all in, and I don't know how. But anyways, so the top 3 of that table. There's 5 people at our table.
Right.
Top 3 move on.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I flopped us straight. right off the cuff. Flopped straight. I had Jack King, and I think that thing came up 10 Queen Ace, whatever. I flopped it straight. So, anyways, someone raised or whatever, and I raised, or I called, and then the turn came, and then someone raised, and I went over, and 2 people called. So we had 3 people all in. You had Charles the Rye Guy and Matt Compton. They just stayed in the back, didn't bet, didn't play the hand, and I knocked both of them out. Game over. Top 3 went on.
So you and Matt and Rye
right,
Guy.
yep. And we were the final 3 in the final table as well.
In our game, we were bidding the
minimum,
the minimums,
yeah.
And everybody was afraid to put it all out there. And finally, I was getting to the point where I'm getting down. I'm the low man on the totem pole. I was like, screw it, going all in. Out I went, and can't remember who else was after me. And then finally, we had our 3, and then we were done. But it took an hour and a half for our table.
I don't know, because I looked at the thing. We were done by 10 o'clock. The whole thing.
Yeah, well, we started at 8.
Correct. We were done by 10. Well, 8:30.
Yeah.
So we were able to do the preliminary rounds and the final all in one night for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Anyways, Charles the Rye Guy ended up winning that evening. In case you guys didn't know, congrats to him in our inaugural poker night.
Yep.
He won the Cast 529 barrel pick of the Wilderness Trail. So that is being shipped now. So anyways, my point is June 30th is going to be our next poker night. So this time we are going to open it up to everybody. However, here's how it's going to be structured is that we are going to it's going to be $10 for a paid Patreon and then $15 for a non-paid Patreon. What that will do, and the bottle is going to be a TBD. And the reason being, you're like this. The TBD is because depending on the amount of people play, because we're not looking to make, we don't want to. Whatever we collect will be the value of the bottle that they win. So I will go out and go get a bottle of that value. Now, if we have a bunch of people, then what we might do is do first, second, and third. But all that will be discussed and agreed upon on the 8 o'clock Google Meet.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll all decide how we want to do it. And then we'll shuffle up and deal. And what was cool about the Google Meets is you could do breakout rooms.
Right.
So we did breakout rooms in different tables. So everybody at the table was in their own room.
Right.
Which is a lot of fun.
Right. You had your own group in there. You can sit and chat with each other as you're playing.
Yeah, it's a good time. So I think we're going to keep doing it. How often, I don't know. I think we'll talk about that maybe on the next Google Meet.
Yeah.
But for those who want to play, June 30th at 8 p.m., I will put the link up on Cast 529's Discord. We have a channel there. It says B&B Poker. Mm-hmm. If you're not already a member at Discord, by all means, join them. And then we post a lot too.
We'll throw it on our Patreon too.
And we'll put it on our Patreon. And we'll put it on a community page.
Yep.
Since it's now opened up to everybody.
Yes.
So June 30th is the next poker night. If you guys can make it 8 p.m. and we'll kind of go from there. So, all right.
Hey, welcome, Gandy.
And Gandy, you got your birthday pour sent to you, by the way. Oh, that's another thing, real quick. And I'm sorry, Jeff, we'll get you on here in a second. For those who are on our paid Patreons, I am missing quite a few people their birthdays in order to send their birthday pours. We are caught up after today. So if you have not sent your birthday, and please do so we can get you out your birthday pours. Did I get it all?
I think so. Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's do this.
So, what we have is we have Copperworks.
Well, how about we just get him on first, and he can do that.
We'll do that.
Or we can have the whole entire show without Jeff, and we'll just sit there and talk about Copperworks.
No, we'll bring him on. Let him talk about it. He's the expert.
Yeah, he is the expert. So, all right. Welcome to the show, Jeff from Copperworks Distilling. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, good. How are you guys? Thanks for having me on.
Good. Sorry about the lateness. We had a little audio. It's every week. It's every week we have audio.
We know. Yeah. Since COVID, we've all had audio problems for the last 5 years, right?
Yeah. I'll go with that. I'll go with that excuse.
Yeah. We had video too. So what's that?
Yeah. No kidding. So Jeff, why don't you tell us who you guys are, what you're all about? Because honestly, I'm going to be learning for the first time as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds good. So we are Copperworks Distilling. We're based in Seattle, Washington, right on the downtown Seattle waterfront. So if you're familiar with the Seattle waterfront, we've got a big Ferris wheel there. We're literally right across the street from the Ferris wheel. So that's where we distill everything. We have a tasting room there. We also have a second location in Kenmore, Washington, which is just a bit north of the city. That's actually where I'm sitting right now. So I'm in kind of the corner of our cocktail bar here, hopefully not disturbing too many people. But we've been producing for about 12 years now, and we focus primarily on gin and American single malt whiskey. So obviously the topic of this is going to be really focused on the whiskey. And the reason we came about is because we're founded by brewers. So the whole idea behind our distillery is to use good quality brewing techniques, high quality malted barley, real brewer's yeast, do a clean sanitary fermentation like a craft beer would be made with, and then turn that into our spirits. So we do that for all of our spirits, but of course the kind of flagship spirits to do that with is our American single malt whiskey. So every whiskey we do is 100% malted barley. Obviously we'll get into the different expressions that you guys have in front of you when we get into the tasting. But we have 3 core expressions. Obviously we do lots of different single casks, whether they be just kind of interesting barley varietals, sometimes different cask finishing. Yeah, and that's kind of where we're coming from. So our one of my partners, Jason Parker, he was the first brewer at Pike Brewing Company. So that might be familiar to people that are into the craft beer scene. It was one of the first breweries in Washington State. I think it was actually number 3 in Washington State. It was one of the first 100 craft breweries in the United States when the craft brewing movement started back in the 80s. And so that's where our kind of pedigree comes from, is this huge, decades long experience in craft brewing, and now applying it to craft whiskey making.
Nice.
Great. Did you get the hashtag going?
Oh crap! No. Hold on, people. You guys have to. I didn't get the hashtag game going. Sorry, we have a hashtag game going to give away some of your samples. But you know what?
Nice.
It'd be nice if I started the game.
Yeah. I mean, we ought to consider ourselves lucky. We did remember to unmute.
Oh, hashtag copper, right?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right, now, all right, hashtag copper, everybody. All right, there we go.
Everybody start over again if you haven't already done so.
No, it collected a few.
Okay. All right. So we've got, you sent us 5 different samples here. Which one would you like for us to start with?
Yeah, so the one we should definitely start with, kind of a no-brainer, is the Maltsmith. That's essentially our flagship American single malt whiskey. This is where we really take advantage of our brewing background. We use what we call our 5 malt recipe, which is essentially like a Scotch ale style beer. So we take, an unhopped Scotch ale recipe. We brew it with, like I said, a real fresh brewer's yeast. We do a clean, temperature-controlled sanitary fermentation. We do that for about 7 to 8 days compared to a typical distillery, doing 2 to 3 day, really quick and dirty fermentation. We also do a cold conditioning process for that, which gets us a really clean beer that's going to go in our stills. And we double pot distill all our whiskey on our Foresight stills that were hand built in Scotland for us. So the Maltsmith is going to be the expression that we have that's going to be the most similar from batch to batch. So we're only using that 5 malt recipe, that Scotch ale recipe. It's primarily aged in brand new charred American oak. So in this batch, which is actually our first batch of it, so we just launched our consistent lineup towards the end of last year. So it's still relatively new to us to not just have releases that are different every single time, but to actually have some consistent product lineup. So this Maltsmith batch, which was our first batch, is 16 new oak barrels and 4 used oak barrels. So it's got a little bit of older second fill barrels in there, but most of the flavors you're getting are from brand new American oak. So obviously for bourbon drinkers, that's going to be pretty familiar flavors coming from the wood, vanilla, caramel, some of those other flavors, cinnamon, things that you get from new American oak. But the malt and the fermentation are going to bring hopefully a lot of flavors that are very unfamiliar to most, American whiskey drinkers, because it's a very different style, obviously starting with barley, but then that beer style fermentation is just going to create a whole range of different flavors. And our whiskeys, we typically get a lot of like orange oil and orange peel. We get a lot of tropical fruit notes, and we get some different spice than you'd get from just like the typical new American oak. We start to get some more exotic spice profile along with some of that baking spice flavor. But the Maltsmith is kind of the purest example of us as a distillery. It's very similar to a lot of the whiskey we've been making for the last 12 years. So it was kind of the style that rose to the top that we wanted to make our flagship when we finally settled on some flagship expressions at the end of last year.
Okay. Yeah, I pick up a lot of that fruitiness on the nose.
Yeah, we make what I find exceptionally fruity whiskeys. It just really comes from that yeast profile.
Yeah.
I smell waffles.
You smell waffles?
Just saying.
And that is bottled at 100 proof, 50%. All of our standard expressions are at 100 proof.
It's not bad. I get that citrusy note on the taste too. No comment.
Oh well, I mean, everybody knows in chat.
Yeah. Well, full disclosure, Charlie's not much of an American single malt. I call him a bourbon snob.
Rightfully so.
But he's learning and he's trying. It is an acquired taste for sure, especially if you're coming from the Scotch world, and you're not. So
no.
But we have found a few that he likes. So hopefully we'll get through here and we'll find a few in here.
But we got bourbons here too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I definitely think from our portfolio, the Maltsmith is going to be the most bourbon-like because it is focused so much on the new American oak, and it's kind of that standard mash bill that we use time and time again. But yeah, it definitely has a lot of different flavors, and obviously that's the point of American single malt, is to be doing something a little different. It's funny, my partner who I was talking about, who's the old brewer, he's actually from Bowling Green, Kentucky, so he has a huge history around bourbon and the bourbon industry, and became a brewer and then decidedly didn't want to focus on bourbon because, there's already so much great bourbon out there. And so we wanted to make something different, something that could add to the story of American whiskey rather than just be, another bourbon or another rye.
Yeah. That's good. I like that. It's good.
All right.
Okay.
How many glasses do we have?
Let's see.
Right, we got plenty of glasses.
Yep. So what do we got next here?
All right. We should move to the Farm Smith next.
Okay. There's also
So-
100 proof.
There's also 100 proof. So the Farm Smith is more of a rotating series. So as the name might imply, these are where we focus on Washington farms. So there's a lot of great barley growing regions around our state, both on the west sort of coastal wet side of the state and the drier side of the state that is more traditionally where you grow a lot of the grains. So Farm Smith, the idea behind this product is every time we do a batch of it, it's going to be a different varietal of barley, a different farm that it comes from, and then obviously a different year that it was grown. So this is kind of like taking the winemaker's approach to a whiskey, right? Looking at, the varietal and the location. We tend to avoid that terroir word because, it tends to get a little pretentious really quickly. For us, it's a lot about just doing something that represents our state and also supporting those independent, smaller farmers around our state. So this batch was grown in Eastern Washington, a farm called Joseph's Granary. What's really interesting about this one is it's a barley varietal called Baroness. Back in the 80s and 90s, it was a fairly popular varietal to grow. It came over from Europe and it was grown in Washington for a while. It was a lot of times used for feedstock. There were some, breweries using it for beers, a lot of home brewers using it for beer as well. But then new, more modern varieties came along that were essentially more efficient, right? Cheaper to grow, more disease resistant. So that one really fell out of favor, not because of the way it tasted, but because of those other economic factors. This guy, Bill Myers at Joseph's Granary, he was the only farmer in the area to keep growing it. And as far as we know, he's the only person in the world that's still growing this varietal of barley. So we're lucky enough to buy that from him most years. And we were pretty excited to make our first batch from that. So Eastern Washington, it's this varietal called Baroness. Really nice flavor to it. Similar maturation profile to the Malt Smith. So the real difference in the flavor is coming from that barley varietal versus the Scotch ale recipe. Because this one's also primarily, actually all the casks in this one are New American Oak. And it's about 3.5 years in the wood. And so you pick up, the beautiful differences in the barley varietal.
This is much better.
Yeah. I get that oakiness, that woodiness. I don't know if that's what I'm getting or not.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I personally get still that citrus, but not the same citrus. For me, I get more of like a lemon curd note that's going with the New American Oak rather than the Malt Smith, which is a little more orange, a little more tropical flavor profile. And you get a little more of the kind of richness of the grain, a little more kind of like hay notes to it, and a much different finish.
It actually, it being a 50 or 100 proof as well, it actually drinks a little hotter.
Yeah, I would agree. The Malt Smith, that 5 malt recipe tends to have a bigger mouthfeel, and so I think that tames the alcohol a little more. Whereas these single varietals sometimes don't have quite as much body, so you get a little more of the sharpness coming through, which some people like, some people don't. It really just depends.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you want something with a little bit of a bite.
No, this has got a bite.
Yeah.
So how long have you guys been around?
We've been going for about 12 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so 2013 we opened the doors.
One of our viewers, we call him by CA Scotty or Scotty. We always ask our viewers like who they want to see on the show and whatnot. So he's out in California, obviously, for it being CA. He's the one that suggested that we bring you guys on. So hats off to him for introducing you guys to us. So we're definitely happy to have, especially people on the left coast, to get into this bourbon world, because a lot of times, it's almost like a forgotten thing, especially where we're at, we're in the Midwest, right? So
Sure. Yeah. Well, thank you, CA Scotty. We always appreciate doing things like this because, we are a pretty small brand, mostly only distributed in Washington State. So it's kind of fun to get the word out and meet some people from around the country and, sometimes around the world and things like
Yeah,
that.
sure.
Nice.
All right. So what was the last one?
That
we just
one
had?
was one we did was a Farm Smith.
Okay.
Yeah, the Farm Smith, and then the first one we did was a Malt Smith.
Okay.
And then where you want to go next?
Now we should go to the Pete Smith, which might sound controversial because you typically want to finish with those smoky notes, but the next two are even more intense in terms of flavor. So the Pete Smith is our peated whiskey, but it's very different than a Scottish peat. Sorry, you're going to say something?
Nothing. You just answered my question.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So what's cool about this product is we don't import peat from Scotland. We don't buy the peated barley from Scotland. We've actually worked with a few other distilleries to develop peated barley coming from Washington State. So if you're familiar with Washington State, there's an area called the Olympic Peninsula, Olympic National Parks over there. It's essentially, west of Seattle. If you go across the Sound, you start to get into that area. So this peat comes from an area called Shelton, Washington, on the Olympic Peninsula. They harvest the peat there from essentially the bottom of a lake bed, and they figured out a pretty solid way to take it, dry it, sort of pelletize it, and infuse that smoke into their malting process at a place called Skagit Valley Malting. Skagit Valley being a very big growing region in Western Washington, where they grow a lot of the barley that we use. So they've made this truly Washington peated barley. So it's peat from Washington, the barley's grown in Washington, and then obviously it's processed in Washington. So it tastes nothing like a Scottish peat because it's different plant material that's being harvested than what was grown and has decomposed in Scotland. It's also pretty subtle smoke. So because of their process, they haven't been able to ramp it up to those extreme high smoke levels. When you talk about Scotch, you talk about high ppms. The interesting thing about this American process is because you're measuring sort of different compounds, nobody really has a lab that would test the ppms in this whiskey. So a lot of people ask, well, what are the ppm levels of phenols in this? And we don't really have an answer. So you just have to use your own palate to judge how smoky it is. So it's interesting that it's more subtle smoke, so it's more approachable for people who might not love, that smoky peated whiskey. But it also has a very different flavor. The Scottish peat tends to be kind of medicinal. People use words like Band-Aid. You get a lot of that kind of saltiness that comes through. This is definitely more like campfire, some like brisket kind of bark notes to it. I know it sounds convenient to say, but it really has these more like American flavors to it. It sort of tastes more like American barbecue, sitting around a campfire in Washington State. And this is my favorite of our three standard products. It's just such a nice blend of the malt, the smoke, and the New American Oak, because again, this one's also aged in New American Oak for just under 4 years.
And this is also a 100 proof as well.
Mm-hmm. That is correct. Yeah, we like to keep our proofs up, so even in our standard releases, they're up at 100. We just find that gives the consumer a lot more power to add some water if they want, add an ice cube if they want, make it into a cocktail if they want, allows that flavor to come through. We're not precious about our spirits. We know that some of them are a little expensive for a cocktail, but if you want to go for it, we love making cocktails, especially classic drinks out of these whiskeys.
One of the things I can say about, when you drink a peated whiskey, sometimes it's overbearing. It's too smoky. It's too, peated, and kind of like what we had with MacArthur's.
Oh yeah,
that was a heavy, smoky, peated whiskey, and this is it's more subtle. It's there. You pick it up, but it doesn't knock you out.
Yeah, McCarthy's is interesting because, Steve McCarthy started making that well beyond anybody was working on peated barley in the States. So that's much more of a Scottish, replica and a damn good one. But, totally different style because that's definitely more like you're drinking a peated Scotch from Islay. Whereas this is, because of that new process and the product coming from Washington State is just such a different product.
Yeah. That's it's definitely different for sure.
Yeah, and you get a little sweetness, obviously, from the wood, but the peat gives a little sweetness too. A lot of people don't realize that because, especially when you're first experiencing peated whiskeys in a whiskey journey, you're really getting hit over the head with the smoke, especially because for some reason people tend to start with like a Lafroig or something like that. I don't know why, but that always tends to be people's like first peated whiskey. And you need to get used to those flavors a little bit before you can get to the background notes like that sweetness that comes in, after the smoke.
Yeah, and you know who would love this?
Bob.
Bob would love this.
Yes.
Bob is one of the OG of our show.
Yes. I wish Bob was here right now.
Yeah, he is a heavy Scotch drinker, and yeah, he would love this.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun one because it pays a lot of respect to that kind of Scottish peat flavor, but then it has that new American oak that brings it more into the new world of American single malt, and even a little bit of a touch of bourbon like flavors from some of the new oak.
Okay.
All right, very good.
All right, so what do we got next?
So real quick, so we're giving away the giveaway, right?
Mm-hmm.
I see 5 samples.
Yes.
What did you decide not to do?
I decided not to do this one.
Oh yeah, duh. There's nothing gone. I guess I could have.
Yeah.
I guess I could have done deductive reasoning.
I didn't. This just says color cask. I didn't.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out. So the people are going to.
They're going to get these 4 here.
These 4 right there. All right, very good.
So
nice.
No, I was wondering, but I guess I could just
look at that.
And we will finish with the color cast, so it's good to kind of set it off the side.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Very good.
Yeah. So the next one we should go to is I think you have single cast 497. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. So this one is very much related to the Pete Smith that we just tasted. So this is a single cask, but it was actually from the same lot of barrels that went to create the Pete Smith. So we set that one aside because it was our favorite of that batch of barrels. We let it mature a little bit longer. So this one's about 4.5 years. So it went about an extra year. And then because it's a single cask, it's also bottled at cask strength. I'm trying to remember what the strength is on that. I don't have the bottle in front of me. I might have a note about it. 59.7, I think.
Yeah, 59.7, which is 119.4.
Yeah,
right?
So coming straight out of the barrel, and yeah, like I said, that was just our favorite of that lot of barrels. So it's kind of the purest expression of that, Copperworks peated whiskey. And that one, I think there's like 2 bottles left. It's almost sold out. So.
Oh wow!
I get like traditional bourbon notes on this, just on the nose.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that could be sort of a result of the strength of it. You don't get as many aromas coming out when you're nosing the cask strength. That's one of the reasons why we love bringing our stuff down a little bit, is just because you get so much more aroma. But when you taste it, it is a really nice flavor explosion to taste at that full cask strength.
Oh yeah.
Got some flavor.
I get that. What is that I'm getting? It's almost like a caramel vanilla.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like some salted caramel, like some kind of graham crackery notes, and then mixing in with that smoke, which I feel like comes a little bit later on this one once you get past some of the heat.
Yeah. But again, I get like right on the front end of it, I get almost like it's like a hit of baking spice. And then the vanilla and the salty caramel come through.
So I know Torp hasn't asked this yet, but I never knew what this was. Floor peat. He always asks that when we have people on.
Oh, the barley or is it?
No, the peat, floor peat. What's floor peat? What's on the floor? Am I just making stuff up?
I think you're making stuff up.
Let's just say I'm making stuff up.
I think you're referring to floor malting. Is
Yeah.
that what you're thinking of?
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so floor malting is just kind of the traditional approach to malting where, the barley is literally spread out over a huge floor of a building. And typically it's just, guys going through, raking it as it goes through its drying process, starting with the germination and then onto the drying. So it's just kind of like the old school traditional way of malting barley. Versus now where there's a lot of kind of big, drum machines that essentially automate a lot of that process and move the barley around a huge drum rather than it having to be, moved around on the floor of a building. We don't use any barley that's floor malted, if I'm being honest. Everything we use is a little more modern technique in terms of that.
So is this your own distillate, I would imagine, since you guys have been doing this for so long?
We've never sourced and bottled any whiskey. So every drop of whiskey that we've bottled is our own. Took us about just under 3 years to release our first whiskey. And yeah, we're pretty proud to say that, everything we've done is our own whiskey in the bottle, never, blended anybody else's in or anything like that.
Okay.
There was a question up above about American single malts.
I think they were talking with each other.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah.
I mean, kind of people are just asking opinions on American single malt, which is, it's a great question. And I think one of the really great things about American single malt, but then also a detriment to American single malt, is that it's a little bit less restrictive in terms of what we're able to do. So that means you're going to have a little more variation, right? So you're going to have different flavors, which can be really cool. But you're also going to get some stuff that maybe isn't quite up to the quality, versus bourbon that has pretty strict rules. So even if you have kind of the lowest shelf bourbon, it's still going to be probably drinkable, because the rules don't allow for too much play in that. Obviously, modern day people have found a lot of ways around that, and they're doing some really fun stuff. But with American single malt, there's even more, power to play around. We, of course, finally just got a legal definition. Before that, it was totally the Wild West. But even with the new definition, we're allowed to use all different kinds of casks, all different types of stills. Obviously, the barley can come from all over and be different varietals of barley, different, treatment, whether it be peat or otherwise, different sources of smoke.
So with that new definition, do you guys find a spike in your guys' sales, or is it kind of just
No, I wouldn't say so. So, it's been a process, right? So we were working on the definition. I mean, obviously, you talked about McCarthy's. They've been making what's, now American single malt whiskey since the early 90s ish. So it kind of started then. And, even St. George was doing some stuff probably a little bit before then. And then about 10, 11 years ago, a group of us got together and wanted to make this legal definition. And by the way, we're one of the pioneers of American single malt, being one of the founders of the American Single Malt Whiskey Commission. And so we've been building for 10 years. And over that time, especially in the last couple of years, we've gotten a ton of press. So there have been some times when it's gotten bumped up, and I'm sure you guys have seen that. I'm sure people listening have seen that. And then the definition was just kind of a result of that, so I don't think it was this point in time where, obviously it's a big milestone, but it wasn't like all of a sudden everybody ran out and needed to get a bottle of American single malt. To me, it's almost like the beginning of the story, right? Is now we can go out there and say, we've got this. Now we need to educate people about what our American single malt is. Now that there's an actual definition for the category itself, we've got to get retailers to create sections on the shelf. We've got to get bars to create little sections in their bar menus. So the work really is just beginning in terms of getting the word out.
Yeah. So like you just said, you can get shelf space, in a liquor store. Right.
Yeah. Right. Whereas before, they would lump us in with, other whiskey or, just generically American whiskey. And, so at times we'd have our bottle next to apple pie moonshine or something like that. And I mean, whatever, nothing against that. Some people want that. Some people want to buy that. But most of the people that want to buy that probably aren't looking for, a $60 or $70 American single malt whiskey. We'd rather our bottle be in a separate section, next to, Scotch or next to the more high end bourbons, where it makes sense, where the people that are shopping for that are going to be looking.
Right.
So,
Go ahead.
No, you go. I'm sorry.
There's a question about what the legal definition is.
Yeah.
And basically it's 100% malted barley. That's the big one. It has to be obviously distilled in America. It has to be distilled at one distillery. So that's what the single means. So it doesn't mean a single type of barley. So very similar to Scotland, it has to be from a single distillery instead of blend of various distilleries. It has to be distilled to under 160 proof, which is typical of a lot of American whiskey categories, at least, the major ones. It can go into any barrel type, but they can't exceed, I think it's 700 liters or something like that. It's a pretty big size, allowing a lot of capabilities for barrel types. You can use any still type, so it's not like Scotch where you have to use a pot still only. But part of that is because of the way the American whiskey rules are written. That 160 proof distillation helps with that. And then obviously there's some small things, like it has to be bottled over 80 proof, just like, almost every spirit category. But basically 100% malted barley made in the US at a single distillery. Those are kind of the three major points of the category.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
So you always learn something here.
Love
They never learn anything from us. They usually learn things from the guests. So good for you for educating us and having you coming on and all that kind of stuff. So I'm very curious about this last one here we got.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely the most different product we've ever done. Potentially the most different whiskey that we've ever tasted, including all distilleries that we've ever tasted. So this is called the Color Cask. And so what that is, yeah, it's a crazy color, but that's actually the industry name for this type of barrel. So it was used in the sherry industry way back in the day, and it was used as a product that they would intentionally get dark. So they make a type of sherry and leave it in a barrel for an extremely long period of time, make sure it was extremely dark, and then they'd use that to color their other sherries to get a consistent color in their products. So the way that some Scotch uses caramel coloring, they would use this special really dark sherry to color their, like, Oloroso sherry, for example, that may have had the flavor they want, but didn't quite have the color that their customers were used to. So they would add a little bit of this really dark stuff into it. So we were lucky enough to acquire one of these casks that was about a 200-year-old cask that they've been using in an old sherry bodega. There were actually only 6 of these casks. Macallan got 5 of them. We were lucky enough to get the other one, mostly because my partner Jason happened to be traveling over there and visiting with a sherry barrel broker, and visited the place that was getting rid of these 6 barrels. And they gave it to us as a gift. We bought some other cherry barrels from them, and they wanted to give this special one as a gift. So a lot of times we'll finish our whiskey in barrels, but for this one, we just went straight in primary maturation of a brand new whiskey, just under 5 years. So I think it was like a month or 2 short of 5 years. You could see the, insane color that gets. I mean, if you see the full bottle on my screen, you can see just how dark that thing is.
Wow.
And yeah, you said it almost drinks like a wine. I mean, it picked up so much of that sherry character. If you put this in front of someone, I don't think they would know it was a whiskey. It's just so much flavor from the sherry. It's like a concentrated sherry.
It doesn't even. Yeah, it does not even smell like a whiskey at all.
It's like a chewing on like a prune.
Yeah, no, it's got a lot of those like raisin prune flavors. One of the crazy things about this barrel is we emptied this one after 5 years, and then we put more whiskey in it, and it actually got a lot of this flavor almost immediately, even after being used for a full maturation of this whiskey. So there's just so much, sherry in the wood of that barrel from it being used for over 200 years.
So you need to, this is my opinion, you need to stub out, because we only can fit 4 in a box. That's why I'm about to say this, Jeff. You need to sub this in somewhere, because people really need to try this. It's pretty unique. It's very unique, and it's like
nothing anyone's ever tasted.
I would love to pour this on my Raisin Brands.
This is really, it is really good.
You know what I'm saying? This is good. I do like this. I like this. This is pure raisin.
You hear that, people, right? He liked it.
I did like this.
Yes.
And Jeff, don't mind me. Like, don't even pay attention to me. Don't even pay attention to me. I'm not a big.
We're used to
guy.
it from you bourbon types. We know how it is.
Give me Mel, man. Come on, give me Mel.
But you know what? When I come out and see something, when I taste something that us bourbon snobs, to find unique. This is this is a Raisin brand cereal. This is pure raisin. This is the closest thing to this.
We should have partnered with Kellogg's or something like that.
There you go. Yeah. That Copper and Cash. Oh, that Corbin Cash.
Corbin Cash?
Yeah, that Corbin Cash that we had.
Mm-hmm.
That was pure raisin. Now this is 10 times more raisin,
right?
Than a Corbin Cash, but
man,
this is like a dessert drink.
It is.
Yeah. No, it's intense. It's one where you only need a small amount, and you can really just enjoy an ounce or something, and revisit it later.
Man.
Yeah. That's a one that's a conversational piece, kind of a whiskey.
So Jeff, say we take one of these and swap them out. Which one do you think we should swap out?
Now, mind you, our chat is a bunch of bourbon snobs themselves. So
right. I mean, I would probably swap out the 497 just because you're already getting some of that in the Pete Smith, and the Pete Smith is kind of the more standard expression of that from us.
Okay.
But it's hard to pick. Yeah.
See, even Husky Dog, Husky Dog, you admit with us, like, come along for the ride, dude. We are, but here's the thing. It's like, we drink bourbon a lot, and we need to venture out. And this is our process of venturing out.
That's why I keep saying, we just need the, when you got the designation, the American Single Malt designation, that's when I kind of started reaching out to all you guys out there and trying to get samples to get you on the show. One, to educate ourselves and our viewers, because I didn't know what it all was to begin with, and then the other thing is to kick him out of his bourbon world a little bit and try something different.
Yeah, I don't like getting kicked out of my bourbon.
You don't like it too much.
No, it's funny too, because we had was it O-Line?
Yeah, we had O-Line. Yeah,
they're out of Baltimore.
Sure, yeah.
We had them on the show about a month ago.
Yeah.
And I actually did a solid, and I actually stepped off the camera, and we had someone else fill in for me because we knew it was going to be a bad night. Anyways, that being said, this.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing about American Single Malt is it is a really new category, and it kind of really highlights the fact that craft whiskey in general is so new. And I think a lot of people had bad experiences with craft whiskey when it first started coming around, and rightfully so. A lot of it was really, truly bad. But the industry has really matured. Every year we get together at something called the American Craft Spirits Association Conference. And one of the evenings we have all the bottles that are in the competition on tables, and we can all just walk around and taste whatever we want, which is a really fun night. So when we first started doing it, it was a lot of like, ooh, that's not really that great. Now there's just so much amazing stuff. You can't even get to all the stuff you want to try. That's, people are saying, this is great. You got to try this. This is great. And you don't even have time to get to it all. And so the industry has really matured in the last, I would say, 5 or 6 years. So I would definitely encourage people to just keep an open mind if they tasted things, 10 years ago when the industry was just blossoming. Things have gotten a lot better, and people are putting out some really great whiskey around the country.
So the SRP on all these, what do these run?
So the Malt Smith is going to be the most approachable at $49.99. The Farm Smith is going to be $69.99. The Pete Smith is at $79.99. The single cask releases that we do, so the $4.97 and most of our other single cask releases are going to be $89.99. And then the color casket is way up there. That one's a really special one, so that one's at $149.99.
Oh yeah. Well, I can see why.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of there's no competition for that flavor,
So can someone online get these bourbons, or how how can someone get to you?
They're whiskeys, they're not bourbons.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, our American single malt whiskey is, like I said, mostly distributed in Washington, but we do sell via our website. So, copperworksdistilling.com. We can ship to about 36 states at the moment. So most folks around the country can do it that way. And that, of course, is changing all the time. There are fortunately new states that are opening up for spirit shipping. So that's the best way to get it. It is available in a few other markets. We've few stores in California, a little bit around Vegas, a little bit in Pennsylvania, but mostly it's online and in Washington State at this point.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, this was educational.
It was. Yep.
Yeah.
As far as moving forward, you got anything special in the works coming out, or?
Yeah, I mean, so one of the kind of cool things that we just did is launched a whiskey club. So we've been thinking about it for years and years, and we finally pulled the trigger on it. We finally have enough kind of consistency in terms of our production to understand what's coming around the bend. Part of it was having the standard releases, so then we know we can do special releases intermingled. So that program, you get a single new bottle of whiskey every quarter, and it's always a very special release that at the time being is only going to be available through the club. So the current release is actually a red wine cask. It's a European red wine. And actually, I know, talking about not being big Scotch drinkers, but it's the most Scotch-like of any product we've made, at least in my opinion. It just has some really nice kind of malty notes, some of that kind of like old old, almost like dusty wine kind of note to it, which may sound kind of negative, but I think it's quite pleasant and enjoyable. So that's the product right there. And then our whiskey club every quarter will basically have something really cool coming around the bend. So if anybody's interested in joining that, that could be a really good way to get all the cool stuff we do. I mean, obviously you can get a lot of the stuff on the website as well, but those will be exclusive to the club. But yeah, we're always looking for interesting finishing casks. We've got a few local red wine casks that we're also working on tasting and deciding when they're ready to pull the trigger on. We like to collaborate with local producers, whether it's wine or other spirits. We've got an Amaro cask that's in the barrel right now. So that one's a really kind of fun one. It almost drinks like a cocktail because, you've got the Amaro notes coming in with the whiskey and making almost like a Negroni / old fashioned kind of a thing right in the bottle. So we're always just looking for interesting, casks to trade with, barley varietals to play around with for the Farm Smith line. And then we've got our cocktail bar up here in Kenmore, so we're always kind of messing around with new cocktail ideas and adding them, whether they be whiskey drinks or also our gin is obviously a big focus on the cocktail menu as well. So I'd encourage people, if you're in Seattle, check us out on the downtown waterfront where we do all the production. And if you feel like making a short drive, the Kenmore location's a really fun place to grab a bite to eat, grab a cocktail, and hang out with us here.
Okay, all right. Great.
All right, well, very good. Well, thanks for coming on, and we'll be sure to hand these products out to everybody on as much as we can.
Yep.
To the winners on the hashtag game tonight, Copper. But I appreciate you guys coming on, and I appreciate you coming on, and I appreciate our local viewer to let us know about you guys. Otherwise, we wouldn't, and that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And if anybody wants to reach out to me, I'm just Jeff at copperworksdistilling.com. Always happy to answer questions or just chat whiskey anytime.
All right, very good. Thank you very much, Jeff.
Yep, thank you very much.
Cheers.
Right,
thanks, guys. You too.
Bye.
See you. So you found another that you like?
I was worried there.
Yeah, I was too.
Because I just,
Well, I mean, it's an acquired taste. I keep saying that, but I mean, it is.
It is. This last one was it's a conversation piece.
Yes. Yep.
So yeah, it's very strong in raisins.
Did you need to run and grab something?
Keith, I will grab it next week. I don't go off there too much. So,
all right.
Anyways,
so
I don't know why I keep on grabbing this thing. There's nothing on.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're just now joining us, we are not using our mics tonight. We're doing something a little different with the wireless. It's mainly because of the event that's coming up on Saturday. I mentioned earlier, the special announcement was we are interviewing Mark Carter down at Joe's Older Than Dirt down in Louisville on Saturday at 1:00. It'll be
So
from
turn your
1.
notifications on,
That's
people.
right. So we'll be going live at 1 o'clock. We'll be on our typical YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. We'll also be on the Big Bourbon Club's Facebook, their Facebook pages. There's 50 different pages, plus their app. So that'll all be on Saturday. So that's why we're not using this is a test tonight.
Yeah,
thankfully it worked.
Yeah, if it worked tonight, then we're going to use this on Saturday. But anyways, so we got a hashtag game, and then we have a super chat going on, which I do appreciate you guys super chatting.
Yes.
Whether you guys did it through YouTube or we pinned the newly formed link tree to either our Venmo or our PayPal.
Yep, and I've gotten a few people that have sent.
Yeah. So if you would check your PayPal and Venmo.
Yep, I've got a Venmo payment here.
Hold on here.
Okay.
But anyways, as we do all this,
yep.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna check something over here.
Hold on, are we on TikTok?
Yes, we're on TikTok.
Hello, TikTokers. All right, let's see where we're at here.
There we go.
Super chats.
Yes, we are still on TikTok.
I mean, that's great.
Yep. All right.
So I'm going to put in order. Whoops. The John Shank, thank you very much. Yes, we're going to do a foodie race.
Yep.
And then Gandy, thank you very much. And then, like I said, you're getting your birthday pour. And everybody's birthday pours are unique, by the way.
Yes.
To where I think you might like it personally. So, like, for instance, Gandy didn't get a birthday pour of a certain one that maybe someone else didn't get because, one, I know Gandy has it. And two, I know Gandy specifically would like this one.
Yep.
One of them came off the back shelf.
Mm-hmm.
And then we threw another one in as maybe something that we feel that you guys would enjoy personally, knowing who you guys are personally as best as we know you.
Or it was from a show. We had something from the Patreon shelf, and then these, if you haven't realized, the bottle shelf over here are bottles that we've had from on the show. So we might have picked one from one of these.
Like, for instance, I sent Gandy. I'll just talk Gandy. For instance, he got. Hold on here.
Does Gandy want to know?
Gandy, do you want to know, or do you want it like a birthday surprise, like a birthday gift? I'll tell you if you want to know. If you don't want to know, then I won't say it. Anyways, you know what? I want to say something here.
Oh.
Well, this is a conversation I have at my day job. Hold on, I want to bring this up. John Shank says, I'm a little wise, Brian, a little long in the tooth, and 31 years managing people. All right. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I want to bring something up. I use that term, long in the tooth, at work.
Oh, yeah. People think you're like, what? What's that mean?
They're like, dude, you're old. Yeah. And I use that every now and then. I'd be like, yeah, that's, such and such is long in the tooth. Like, whether it's like stop I'm doing at work, whatever.
Yeah.
But people are looking at me, they said, no one uses that term anymore.
I know. Yeah.
But John just did it.
I know.
I think I'm okay.
You must be our age.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, I think we're okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So anyways, Leah, thanks for joining. Appreciate it.
And I just saw that Brian and Shauna got some fresh. Yeah.
They got what?
Shauna and I got fresh.
No, they didn't.
That's what it says right there. Did they get fresh? Or
No. Dude.
I'm just saying, or did they get this?
What else did you mean?
Or did they get fresh? Or did they get fresh?
What the hell is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I don't.
No, they're commenting. They got birthday pours. And now Brian is he's kidding about getting fresh. And you go,
I read it out of context. I'm sorry.
God bless. Dude, it's not what he, good. See, here you go. Oh my God. See, here we go.
See, I wasn't the only one.
God bless.
I wasn't the only one.
See, Scotty, yes, we're glad to have Copperworks on this evening. he was a wealth of knowledge. And I didn't know what ASM was as far as the definition.
Well,
I learned that tonight.
Yeah, and like he said, we're going to pull out this 497, and we're going to give you this color cask. Oh my god!
Yeah, you guys got to try this color cask for real.
Whew. Man, that was good.
Yeah, it is good. Hashtag Copper. If you haven't done it already, not Cooper, but Copper.
Yeah.
We're going to run this, and then we're going to run the foodie race.
Yep.
Anything else you'd like to say?
Just that next week we have Silver Belly whiskey.
Oh, yes.
That'll be on Thursday night next week. And we're still keeping our fingers crossed as to the special guest, Mr. AJ himself. So we'll see how that goes.
We may or may not have Alan Jackson on.
But also, just a reminder, this Saturday at 1 o'clock, we'll be on with the Big Bourbon Club down at.
You said that 5 times.
Joe's Older and Dirt. I know the people have come on afterwards.
Only one person has came on since you said it.
I don't think so.
Everybody take a shot every time Jeff mentions Saturday, the Big Bourbon Club at 1 o'clock.
Yep, at 1 o'clock.
Everybody has to take a shot.
At Joe's Older Than Dirt.
You're older than dirt.
I know. I feel like it.
Should be Jeff's older than dirt.
We do have Venmo payments from.
Hold on. Let me get this right.
Okay. Oh, you're not doing that yet, are you? Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna get it ready. All right, give me the Venmo payment.
Got Silly Orky. 2 of them. And Edwin Glandon.
Oh yes, nice. I'm not gonna say Edwin. That's funny.
That's the way it came in.
I
We got 1.
Okay. All right, we're good.
Yep, that's all we got on
Check
here.
my PayPal. Don't I?
Check the PayPal. Yep.
Is it my PayPal?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm sorry, people. Or is it Bourbon and Ballz?
Well, it's Bourbon and Ballz PayPal, but PayPal.
I don't know how to log in today.
You do.
No, I don't.
Well, yeah.
Can you log in?
Sure.
All right. All right. Man, damn it. People need to quit texting. Not you guys. Anyways. All right. Let's get the super chats on the way. Let's get the giveaway tool too. All right. We're going to do the giveaway real quick. Share screen. Giveaway. Share. Here we go. Winner is. You gonna write this down? David B.
This is for the hashtag Copper.
B, not T.
B. There we are.
Make sure we send it to the right David.
Make sure David is here. You're going to get a code.
I'm going to get a code?
Yes.
Oh.
David B, are you here?
I don't want to say the code out loud. Could you imagine? I said it out loud and people start getting our PayPal.
David B, are you here? David B is here.
Nice.
Welcome, David. Yeah, we already said welcome to you.
We did.
Congrats.
Congrats.
There has been no PayPal payments. It's just the 2 through Venmo so far.
All right, very good. All right, so let me get. You want to talk about poker? I can get people super chatted.
Okay. Yeah. So poker, June 30th. We had our inaugural round last Monday night. We had a few hiccups. Those that played know what we're talking about as usual. You know, it's not a Bourbon and Ballz event if it's not a shit show. So, but once we got through the hiccups, it did end up being a really nice.
I loved it. I thought it was a great time.
Yep. So we are going to do that again starting June 30th will be the next time. This one, however, will be a pay to play, so to speak. If you are a paying Patreon member, it will cost $10 to play. If you are a non-paying Patreon or anybody for that matter, it'll be $15.
Now, all of it.
All of that money, we're not going to take any of that money as a profit. The money's going to go into the cost of the bottle. So whatever we raise for however many people that play will be the amount that the bottle that we're going to get. So if we then, like we talked about, if we get a whole bunch of people, then we'll probably have to split that up into first and second place type things. But
Correct.
Whatever the value that we get will be the value of the bottle, and that'll all be discussed at a Google's Meet before we play on June 30th. And
Yeah, and we'll have like a consensus. We'll have like a like a majority rules kind of thing,
right?
As far as how we want to do it, whether or not we want to split it up to first and second, or first, second, third, or just winner take all, however they want to do it. But
So
regardless, it was a lot of fun.
8:00 on Monday, June 30th.
June 30th, correct.
Right. So there's that coming up. What else?
Silly Yorkie, you can use our link tree, and you can pay now if you'd like. Just put in the comments.
Just
listen.
Yeah, here we go.
This is how I got banned from Venmo. This is why my Venmo. I don't know if you guys heard this story or not, but I'm banned from Venmo. You guys cannot use the word bourbon in Venmo. Otherwise, I'm telling you, we will get banned.
If you're paying for the poker, use a poker chip or a card as a symbol.
Like an emoji thing. That way we can identify.
Right.
And plus, we're going to identify the amount. We'll know.
Right. And then if you're paying through here, just a hashtag dot something.
Don't pay through Super Chat. Whatever you do.
Yeah, don't pay for the poker through Super Chat.
No, you will not get credit for that.
No.
It has to be through Linktree. Now, I will say this: for those who want to wait, which is totally fine, and they don't know what they're doing that Monday, during the Google Meets, we will make sure we'll verify all the payments.
Yep.
So you technically could wait till Google Meets and then pay then.
Right. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, anyways, that being said, So it was a lot of fun playing poker. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it was like I said, once we got the bugs worked out, it was a good time.
So yes, Keith, thank you for mentioning that. Venmo or PayPal, when you super chat, it does help us out. Unfortunately, and Brian knows this too, and so does other YouTube channels. YouTube takes out I think like 40 to 50% before we even get supported.
Right.
It is what it is, and I guess they provide a service, and I don't mind that, but that's a high cut, regardless. But anyways, that being said, that is the poker thing, and I think I have everybody.
Bourbon Nerd, like from the patios
super
here.
chat. Let me go over the super chat one more time, and here is where we at. We have. Let me get my glasses on. We got Silly Yorkie twice, right? Keith once. Then we have Rick Moreland, Husky, Stan, Patrick, Dave twice. That is correct. We got Crappie. Sorry, I keep on saying Crappie. We got Shauna, and we got Keith, and we got John, and we got Gandy. Is that correct?
Yep. And then we got Silly Yorkie and Keith over here.
I said that at the very end.
But that's two for Keith because he got one through.
He did?
Yeah, he got one through Venmo.
Oh, okay. My bad.
And then one through Super Chat.
Oh, yeah, I do have them here as well.
Okay. And then you got Silly Yorkie on there from.
Twice. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, twice. Did she go twice here and once there?
No, she went twice there.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm on it.
All right. Just checking.
All right. Are we gonna do another draw again?
We can.
All right, let's do another one. For those who are still on, we appreciate you guys, and you guys know we do this sometimes. You know what? We almost do it every time. Let's do a new hashtag. Hold on here. Yep. We'll do that, and then we'll do the foodie race.
Yeah, and this hashtag, what we already have set up is we got Magnolia single barrel.
What in the world? No, we don't.
Yeah, we do. That's what's in that box over there.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do. For the second hashtag. Yeah.
No, that was supposed to go to Gandy.
No, this is different. No.
What Gandy get for his birthday pour?
No, we already did that. It's on there. It's the Magnolia and was it Old Swagger? This is different. This is the hashtag. Your hashtag copper, David B1.
When did you do this?
Magic.
I wasn't paying attention.
It's in the box over there. Yeah, I think it dropped down on the floor.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
I thought we just repeat it. Oh, we didn't have enough, did we?
We didn't know if we would have enough. So that's the hashtag. Just got the hashtag on it.
What do you have in here?
I've got Magnolia, Glens Creek Sweet, Glens Creek Cafe Olay, and Redwood Empire Devil's Tower.
All right. I didn't even know that. I don't even know what goes on this show anymore. I really don't. Hashtag
BBC.
Well, because for the Big Bourbon Club.
Yep.
You know, make all the jokes you want. So, hold on. It's going to be hashtag BBC for a sample pack. Now, the BBC stands for everybody.
The Big
Bourbon Club.
Yes.
Hold on. There we go. I am so messed up.
Hashtag train wreck. That was right. Hashtag confused. They're all over you.
Good God, you guys are good guys. You guys keep counting Keith twice and what? Yeah, we got you down.
Keith twice, counting Edwin. Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
He did 5 through
Venmo.
Right. And then 5 through Super Chat.
Yes.
Right. We got him down twice.
Okay. And Marty McCormick just put in $5. Thank you, Marty.
Thank you. You know what? Marty's got that strategy. Last one in. Yeah. You know what? It works.
It does. Yeah.
I can't tell you. Marty's won that way before.
Yep. The closing karma. Is that what they call it?
Or whatever they call it. So hashtag BC.
Hashtag BC gets you that last sample pack I just told him that Charlie didn't know about.
I'm getting this is a mess. You're right. Right. Yep. BBC. Yeah, you guys get it.
Lip service crew, Sweet Lisa, welcome.
You know what?
No, come on now, Sweet Lisa. No.
We're asking for it by doing that. Show me the proof. Did we get her super? Right there. I got it now. Yeah. Show me the proof. We got yours. Where's
It just came in. Yeah.
Where's Marty's?
It's over here on Venmo.
Oh, okay.
Oh my.
Oh boy. What time did Marty's come in?
9:16. Did you lose the mouse?
No, show me goes first.
Oh, okay.
That's why I asked you what time. I'm superstitious.
Mm.
Okay. All right, I think we're good.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna do the giveaway again though. The hashtag BBC. That's right here. All right. Hold on here. Oh my God. All right. I think we're good.
Okay.
Let's do share screen. What are you opening up? Oh, Gatorade. What? The hashtag?
Yeah.
We've had work hashtag.
We have had worse. Yeah, we have had worse.
All right. Well, we're going to do it.
Okay, here we go.
They win, apparently, whatever Jeff decided to put together, which I had no clue on. What was I doing?
I don't know, Rick.
Marlon, congrats.
Are you here, Rick?
I believe Rick is here. And he just donated another one for a super chat.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
He now wants to be the last one.
Okay. We got a little something here. We're gonna just if we both keel over and die, I'm gonna.
Oh, dude, I'm not doing it.
You're not gonna do this?
I'm not trying it. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. Because I'm telling you, if someone dies, it's gotta be you.
We received a bottle in the mail.
Random bottle.
Random. It's Terrabello Blavelt. It's a New York bourbon whiskey.
Nope.
Finished in Jamaican rum casks.
I'm not trying it.
I received it from the master distiller with a nice letter that says,
No, it looks like a ransom letter.
it says, your show we truly admire. We are quite confident you'll enjoy this bottle, a truly unique bourbon finished in a still wet Jamaican rum cask, emptied just hours prior. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Can't wait to hear from you and would love to chat and reach out anytime.
Well, you can hear
Benjamin Terrabello.
You can hear your thoughts because I'm not doing it. Because here's why. This thing came unsealed.
It did.
There's no tax strip, no nothing.
Nope. It's just
So, guys,
a glass cork.
live on Bourbon and Ballz or anything like this, but
Has anybody heard of Terrabello?
I think it's made up.
Anybody?
I think it's made up, and I think you're about to get screwed. You're going to have food poisoning tomorrow.
Smells good.
Yeah, with your nose all the way down to the... I'm definitely not having it now.
I didn't put my nose.
Dude, your nose is all the way in that freaking...
It was not.
I'm not doing it.
You don't want it?
No, you're good. I wouldn't even put this in the sample giveaway.
You would or wouldn't?
I would not. I'm going to get the foodie race set up while you keel over.
Well, this is Terrabello Blavelt.
That doesn't even make sense. That's not even two words I don't even know in my dictionary.
Blauvelt.
Yeah,
The
wow.
distillery is Spirito Distilling Company in Utica, New York.
Yeah.
Now you got me worried.
I would be worried. I wouldn't touch that. Honest to God, I would not drink that. I wouldn't drink if I were you. Seriously. I know we joke around a lot, and we do, but I would not touch that thing. Yeah, see? Keith's like that distillery is probably in Iran.
So this is in Utica, New York?
Dude. Yeah, Bourbon of the Year running? I don't think so. Jeff? Yeah. Hey, congrats on the free bottle. It's free for a reason.
It is distilled in New York, bottled by
Yeah, you need to Google it.
Spirito.
Silly Yorkie's smart. You need someone Google that in chat if you could. Spell it for people.
T as in Tom, E R E B as in boy, E L O.
Do it again.
Terrabello. Terebello.
Yeah, someone. In the meantime, let's get to some real stuff. Yeah, it says they're in New York, which is fine. Found on Total Wine website for 100. What? No freaking way. That can't be true. You got the wrong. We must. No.
Okay, I'm on Google too.
Sweet Lisa. That's funny. They said they had a nice website.
Terebello.
Well, shoot. Now you got me wondering. Let's do this here. T-E what?
Terrabello. There it is.
Terrabello. Oh shit! What did I do? P-E-R-E.
Rebelo. Yeah, I mean, there it is.
About us. This is them. All right, I'm going to share my screen with people.
Yeah, this is it.
Dude, I could have made this website. What is... Hold on. Oh. What? There's no volume.
Yeah.
What? Is that advertisement?
I don't know what that is.
Or is that the actual YouTube video?
I don't know.
Is she comforting him? And then he's about to drink some Tarabella?
I don't know.
What was that?
I don't know.
Dude, seriously. This is on their website.
I don't know.
Jeff,
I don't know.
the dude looks like he's having some marital problems. And he's about to... Oh, she just consoled him. He's about to cheat on his wife.
Total Wine, right here it is. $144.99. That's that bottle right there.
No.
$144.99.
Yes, Stephen Keith says everything in New York is trustworthy, Jeff. Jeff? Dude, I don't know about that video. Dude, this is seriously... Is this Tarabella? Yeah.
Right there. Look at this.
And you click on this video.
I don't know what the video is.
And you get this guy wringing his hand.
I don't
And the woman... Look at the woman. He's explaining something, and the woman just reaches over his hand. Like, she's like, here we go. Ooh, yep. They're hooking up. It has nothing to do with bourbon.
I don't
Dude,
know.
this is the most jacked up thing I've
I
ever seen in
don't
my
know
life.
what it is, but
Blockchain digital payment. Dude, this is not real.
I don't know. You can apparently buy it on Total Wine for $145. I don't know.
Tarabella. Yeah, I'm off this website. I'm probably getting spammed right now. She's a therapist. All right, guys. That's all right. You gonna drink it? You're an idiot if you drink this, but you go right ahead. Go right ahead, dude. It's a $144 bottle. I think you're getting scammed.
It smells good.
I don't have any what do you call it when you get poisoned?
Narcan.
No, it's not Narcan. What is it? What is it? The antidote.
Yeah,
the antidote. Remember in Indiana Jones when Dr. Jones he drank that shit at the table in Short Round, and him tried to get that antidote, and it kept on kicking around and everything. He finally drank it, and he was fine. This is gonna be you right now, except the fact that I have no antidote for you. I have, dude. You do what you want. You do you, buddy.
Not bad. Not good either.
Is that $144 good?
No. I taste the rum. Big time. Big
Is
time.
that even whiskey?
It is. It's a bourbon whiskey. I do taste the rum for sure.
Is it good then?
It's good. Yeah. You want to try?
No, I don't want to try. I'm not touching that thing. You're out of your mind. Let's do this foodie race. All right, Silly Yorkie, got you down twice. Keith, once up here. Moreland, Husky, Stan, Patrick, 2 days, Crappy, Shauna, Keith, John, Gandy, Show Me the Proof, Marty, and Rick. I think I got everybody. Let me make sure. Yes, you want to double check on you?
Yep, I'm just checking on no more Venmos and nothing on PayPal.
All right, good. All right, we're doing minute 30. I cannot believe you drank that.
Try anything once.
Apparently. All right, here we go. We got Moreland is Chinese food. Didn't know. I didn't see Chinese food before. I think Marty might be a pound of or a mound of what is that?
A mound.
A mound of whatever. Look at that. What's Marty?
Is it a bowl of rice?
No, it's a
It's
mound
a
of
fish, and there's a lemon behind it.
You think so?
Yeah, it looks like a fillet of fish. Well, I don't know.
Crappies like popcorn. Dave's birthday cake. Oh, we got to shuffle this too, though, by the way. We'll do 9. Stick with 9. We've been doing
Stick with
9.
9. Tommy likes
1,
9.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, here we go.
Who's it going to be?
Yeah, no balls. Show me. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not hitting. I'm not hitting that bourbon of the year button. Did we get some new bourbon in this? Well, we got about the Old Swagger and Old Stubborn in.
We got the Penelope.
Oh, we did.
We got this last week.
Oh, we got the cigar thing. You already told people about that.
Did I?
Oh, you got the peach thing too.
We got this.
Can I try that?
We can try that.
What is that? I know Sean and Brian has one. They have it. Let's try that. All right. In the meantime, Silly Yorkie, you're way out to front. Nope. John Shank, the bucket of chicken. He's flying back. Stan is the cupcake. That's about right. Rick Moreland is, I think he's ramen noodles. Show me the proof. I think it's salad. Dave's a wiener. Gandhi is, I can't tell what he is. Gandhi might be like a cheese and oh, here we go. John Shank, bucket of chicken.
All right.
Congratulations, Mr. Shank. Bucket of chicken. You get the premium pours tonight. And it's Old Carter and Old Swagger, which, oh, man, you're going to love the Old Swagger. And then the new 10 Riff. New 10 Riff. New Riff 10 year, the bourbon and the rye. Nice. Very good. And in the meantime, you're going to, what is that, by the way? Is that a mixed cocktail?
It is a peach old fashioned.
Really?
Yeah.
Can we do that in the giveaway?
If I can get it open. There we go. Bingo.
Oh, I'll try this. Has anybody had this? I think Brian and Sean has had it.
This is courtesy of Penelope. We received this.
You and your flexing.
I didn't flex nothing, just making it known. Full disclosure.
Oh,
Good or bad?
oh, strong.
So Penelope cocktail, peach old fashioned. It's only 80 proof.
It's like fingernails. Not fingernails, fingernail polish. All right, never mind. I'm starting to get the peach.
Yeah, I was gonna say you gotta let air out. I get the peach.
Can I just say earlier, my notes, what I said earlier?
What?
What I thought some of that stuff tastes like from Copperworks.
What?
And again, nothing against them. It's just this is what I think of Peter stuff. It tastes like marijuana. If marijuana was a, what is a chewable? I was about to say
They are edible.
I'm just saying. All right. Ooh, this is,
Man, that peach is really coming through on that.
mhm. Do not like as pure cough syrup.
No,
Oh.
that's actually
Oh.
pretty tasty.
You know what'd be good? Put this over like a some ice cream. And then I'm with you. The way drinking it straight to me, it's way too sweet.
It is very sweet.
And that's why I don't like it.
But it is real rich peach. For sure.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, it needs to be mixed with something else.
Well, who said that? Somebody said whiskey. Somebody said it's better than rice.
Yeah.
Whiskey Uncensored is here with Ballz.
Yes, he is. I want to do something else. Not sure what it is. You know what we're going to do one night, though, guys? Is Jeff and I keeps on talking about. We haven't done it yet. We got to find a date to do it. I want to do a complete blind of all our stags.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a live show.
Yeah, that's going to be.
Maybe a live show we don't have any guests on, which I don't even know when that is.
Right now, the only show we don't have is in July 17th.
Why don't we make that blank? Why don't we just...
I'm not going to be here on that day. I'm going to be on vacation.
Oh.
So I
July 17th.
I think it's the 17th.
No, you told me August 7th.
No. I know.
I told Bob, I asked him to come in August the 7th.
Yes, August the 7th is my wedding anniversary, and I will not be here.
Okay.
I will also not be here the week of.
You didn't tell me this part.
I most certainly did. July 17th, I will not be here. I will be on vacation. I'll be in Florida from the 12th to the 19th.
So I need to figure something out for everybody.
Yes, I do not have anybody scheduled for that day, but every other day in Thursday in July we do.
All right, I'll think of something.
And we're in August too, so we're in September.
You know what? If anybody got any ideas, let me know. I'm
Do
gonna
a
think about
trivia
this.
night on the 17th if you want to do trivia.
I could do trivia.
You know,
I need,
not have it
I,
stolen from us.
I need a co-host. What?
Not have
Will
somebody
you quit?
steal it.
Will you quit? Will you quit?
I'm
That's
messing
not
with
funny.
him. I'm messing with him.
All right.
What do you want to try?
Brian, seriously, let's do it.
Okay.
I would love to do a live with you and Shauna. Let's do that. That's what we're gonna do. If you're serious, I'm serious.
So July 17th we'll be live with Cask 529.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. We haven't done one of those.
No, we haven't.
That'd
And you
be fun.
figured you'd do it the day I'm not
Yeah.
going to be here. But you know what? That's on you. That's cool.
I need a co-host.
July 17th.
Yes. Well, hold on. Is he serious? He's serious. Awesome. Oh my God, that'd be so much fun. Do you remember back in the day, NBC shows when they used to do cross collaborations on their TV shows?
Yep.
It would be like that. We got to do something good, and we'll have time to send each other some blinds too. We'll talk off air. This is a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Do the high rye. Go ahead.
Oh,
You want
yes.
to do that? I know you want to do that.
We have, ladies and gentlemen,
All right, go ahead, everybody. Jeff's been wanting to open us up,
we have an old stubborn.
but it's not the one we had the other night.
It's not. This is a rye.
Yes.
Old stubborn.
I can't.
Let me crack this puppy open.
Where are you going in Florida, Jeff? They want to know that.
I am going to Perdido Key, which is on the Panhandle, right on the border of Florida and Alabama. And if anybody knows of a bar called Florabama, that's where I'm going to be spending a lot of my time. And it happens to be a bar that Kenny Chesney likes to frequent.
Mm-hmm.
So,
John, let me think about that, but I think we may do a live.
what's that?
He wants to do Google Meets.
Tonight?
No, that I don't think he's called about tonight. I could do Google Meets tonight because I don't have work tomorrow. Yeah, if you guys want to do Google Meets tonight, let me know.
So this is the high rye old stubborn. It is a 133.28 proof.
Did you say where you're going in Florida?
Perdido Key.
Never heard of it.
It's like I said, it's on the Panhandle. Right, if you know where Orange Beach, Florida, Alabama.
No.
It's right on the border of Alabama and Florida.
They call it mullet toss at Florida. Oh,
Yep.
I guess Brian's right.
They do a mullet toss, but they also have what they call bushwhackers, which is basically an alcoholic Wendy's Frosty. And it'll light your ass up.
Really? And then I'm going on vacation in September. I'll be gone for 2 Thursdays.
2 Thursdays.
How you like them apples?
Yeah, well, we'll
You
figure it
better
out.
get yourself a co-host.
We'll figure it out. Might have to have Brian and Shauna on here without your ass.
It's not going to mean as much because we already been there, done that.
it, yeah.
We've already been there, done that.
Yeah.
right.
Man, I tell you what. You know, since we had Ed Bly on, I'm seeing this stuff everywhere. Out on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube.
All right, John, do you want to do Google? We can do a Google Meets. Where am I going? I'm going on my first cruise ever, and I hate the water.
Yeah.
I freaking hate it. I'd rather you just stick me in the middle of New York City.
Yeah.
Oh, remember that song, Arthur's theme? When you get caught,
Yeah.
and then right,
In New York City, yeah.
yeah. I know it's crazy,
Mm-hmm.
but it's true.
Yeah. Used to drink bushwhackers at St. Thomas when I tell you what, man, them things are good. You like a
Damn.
Wendy's chocolate frosty and alcohol.
I have to set up a Google's Meet. How do I? I'll do that. I'll
What do you
figure
mean
it
I
out.
set up? We already have a Google's thing.
Huh?
Send out a link.
I know. I just got to create it.
130.
Yes, John Shank, I do hate the water. You know why it is? I'm gonna tell you a story here. It's a simple story. I was like 7 or 8 years old and didn't know how to swim, and the neighbor or a cousin or something like that of a friend came over and threw me into the deep end pool, and I swear to God I thought I was gonna die. And then ever since then, and shortly thereafter, I had to get tubes in my ear. So you can't go swimming with tubes in your ear.
Right.
So combination of the trauma-ish
Mhm.
and the tubes, never got around to it. And I don't like it. I don't like the water. So my wife, they go on family vacations in the wintertime. And they go to the Caribbean and everywhere else. And I stay home. I freaking hate it. I can't do it. No, I didn't die, but yeah, you're right. The deep end thing. I know that people think I don't even take baths. I'll take showers, obviously. But yeah, nope. Don't like the water.
Yep. Floribama, party on the line. Yep. That place is crazy. I mean, we've been down there a few times. This is the first time
They're like Rice Krispies.
it's the first time my wife and I are actually taking a trip without any kids, without any, I mean, we used to go down, it was either taking the boys with us or we would hang out with a bunch of friends. We go down like 5 or 6 other couples.
Tasted this yet?
Not yet.
Oh,
But this could be our first solo trip. It'll be nice. That's right, Shauna.
it's like a rice, marshmallow. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not a big outdoorsy person. And there's a reason for that too. We already discussed it on the show.
You got stung by a bee.
No, it was a wasp on my head. And I went to anaphylactic shock. That's gonna wake you up.
Oh.
That is hot.
Ooh.
That's a humdinger.
Ooh, yes, it is. But man, is that good. Tell you what, that man does not do anything bad. Ed Bly is a genius.
This is great.
This is the high rye. This is the rye old stubborn.
Oh, who do we have on next week? Oh, Silver Belly.
We got Silver Belly on next week, and
Do we have any samples from them?
they're on their way.
Okay, I've never had Silver Belly.
We're having, let's see, we're going to be having,
No, that would be a no, John. And you are correct. I love the outdoors through a window.
we're going to be having the small batch and single barrel of Maddie's Pick.
All right.
So Maddie is the master distiller and daughter of Alan Jackson.
Although I have gone hunting.
Have you?
Yeah.
I have never gone hunting.
I killed a deer in my first 20 minutes of hunting. And I'm thinking, man, this is easy.
I've never gone hunting.
Really?
Mm-mm. Nope.
I was telling Brian the story about it earlier today. He was like mystified.
Hey, Husky, this proof is 133.28 proof.
And it drinks like 145.
It does. It does. It's hot. But man, is it good. The flavors, oh my.
Oh, yeah.
Woo.
All right, boys and girls, we're going to set up a Google's Meet. Hold on tight. I'm going to put it in the chat. Talk a little bit more, and let me set up this Google's Meet.
Yep. Just another announcement. Just don't forget about turning on your notifications for Saturday, because we will be going live from Joe's Older Than Dirt down in Louisville, interviewing Mark Carter from the old Carter.
And I'm going to Whatchamajiggers for dinner.
You're going to Whiskey Thief for dinner.
No, I'm not.
Or not Whiskey Thief, Whiskey Proper.
Yeah, no, I'm Watch Hill Proper.
Watch Hill Proper.
You can't
what the hell?
How do I share this?
You got to copy the link.
Oh, here? No. How do I do that? Meeting details.
Copy joining info. There you go.
Okay.
But yeah, the old Carter that went out in the winning sample pack went to this is the very small batch old Carter that went out. And if you guys aren't familiar with old Carter, he almost lost everything with his lost the distillery and everything. He ended up buying it back in an auction. He went through a pretty nasty divorce, and yeah, he almost lost it all, but he was able to recover it, and he's got some new stuff coming out. So we'll be sampling 4 different expressions on
That's a long
Saturday.
post. Here we go. I think that's better. There it is. That is the Google Meet, I believe.
Yep.
So yes, if you guys want to hop on there, you guys more than welcome to. Won't be on too late, but I don't have work tomorrow, so.
I got to work, so I don't know if I'll be on at all. I got to go into work tomorrow.
Okay, we shall see. Otherwise, guys, thanks for joining. Man, I hope you guys are in next week. We got a big treat. It could be a really good show or a fantastic show.
Could be one or the other. That's right.
It could be one for the ages.
That's right.
So, all right, until then, guys, we will catch you guys next time on Bourbon and Ballz.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
See you.